So, today I'd like to discuss something about the etymology of the Arnis history. So, the word Arnis was for, for from a term derived Arnes utilized by the actors of Moro Moro stage displays. It means attractive harnesses, and the word demano means basically just hands. So if you combine the two words arnes de mano, it means the harness of hands. So the handling of the harnesses during stage plays lasted a good impression to the Spanish settlers. That's why they called it arnis de mano. So the style arnis, which is the Spanish word itself, uses many Spanish techniques. And a good example of this is the espada y daga, which means sword or dagger in English. And for the Tagalog term, it is called kali, which means any bladed weapons. It is a term that is popularized by Dan Inosanto. So, whatever term we use to refer to the fighting arts of the Filipinos, it is still evident that they provide excellent training and skill to those who want to learn them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Kyla Main. I'm here to discuss to you about arnes. So arnes, it is done by using knives, bladed weapons, sticks, and various improvised weapons. It also includes hand-to-hand combat, grappling weapon, and disarming methods. In arnes, they use the weapons as an extension of the body, and arnes has three forms. They are espada y daga or sword and dagger. Next is solo baston or the single stick. And the last one is sinawali or to weave. So, additional information, arnes is the official national sport and the martial arts of the Philippines. It is also known as um, kali or eskrima, which means fencing. And arnes comes from the word arnes de mano, which means armor of the hands. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Good day. So after knowing the history of Arnis, I and my partner Talia will talk about the 10 reasons and benefits why we should learn Arnis. Number 1, it is the national sport and martial arts. Many of us still believe that sipa, similar to game volleyball that only uses feet, is the national sport of the Philippines. However, Arnis is declared as the national sport on the 11th of December 2009 in the Republic Act of number of 1424, authored by Majority Leader Miguel Zubiri. Under the law, Arnis will be mandatory course or subject in all schools in the country. Number 2, your hands and sticks as weapons. As Arnis was an art usually practiced by peasants and commoner class, expensive swords and weapons were not that accessible. Instead, we see the ingenuity and practicality of Filipinos in this art. When learning it, you are only given a pair of rattan sticks to begin with. It serves as an extension to your arms and to give you more range. It also teaches you that almost anything can be used as weapons. As mentioned, some eskrima schools concentrated more on hand-to-hand combat, teaching you that you can take on an opponent with just your bare hands. Number 3, it's a practical way of defending ourselves. Unlike a gun, you won't need to get a permit to carry on around Arnis sticks or stash them in your car. If you want to get really fancy, there are retractable defense sticks that you can buy from weapon shops or online that you can carry around with you. You won't also be spending thousands of pesos on pepper spray or taser. You just need your hands and some sticks. Arnis class were not that expensive because it's becoming more and more popular these days. Different Arnis schools are opening up and gyms are integrating Arnis to their list of classes. You can also go to your local sports complex and ask if they are offering Arnis classes. Number 4, disarm. You can apply what you have learned in Arnis when helping someone. Most crimes here in the Philippines involve some kind of weapon, either a gun or a knife. It's a huge disadvantage in your end even when you're good at punching and kicking, if you don't know how to disarm someone. With Arnis, you are taught that you can defang the snake by concentrating on the person's forearm and hand, as well as strikes on vulnerable areas like eyes, nose, throat, groin, and solar plexus. You disarm them of their weapons, and you will also leave damage. Once you can disarm someone, defending yourself will be a breeze. And number 5, social interaction. Practicing Arnis, you get to meet a lot of people and socialize. Since it's gaining a lot of popularity, more and more of people want to enroll in Arnis schools and classes. So don't worry, you are not going to end up in a room filled with kids learning how to use batons. You will likely be in a small class taught by a master, and you'll end up bonding with your classmates.
Think fast. Our niece is not just about drills and making sure you hit your partner's baton. The drills are there so you could get used to attack and counter-attack movements. During a sparring or in real-life setting where you will need to defend yourself, the technique also need wits. It's not just raw force and twirling the sticks. There are finesse and technical aspects which require creativity. You have to think fast and be creative when attacking and blocking, which really boils down to how imaginative you can be when combining the movements. Good exercise. Arnis is a great cardio and reflexes exercise. It may not involve you lifting heavy things, but the exercise and drills can get over your heart pumping. It's like an aerobic class. You get to move your whole body while getting a great upper body workout. You get to develop your forearm and hand muscles so you'll get toned arms and shoulders. But make sure you're wearing protective gears since hardcore drills like hitting the wheel bag can cause blisters and callous the hands. Discipline and self-control. A major lesson you'll learn in Arnis and any other martial art is discipline and self-control. You'll learn to discipline yourself in actually showing up to class and practicing to learn and perfect drills and movements so you can execute them seamlessly. Martial arts was never meant to be abused, so don't use it just to hurt people. Psychological effects. Exercise is correlated to good psychological well-being. Studies have shown that getting a certain amount of exercise within a week can boost endorphins, which is the neurotransmitter associated with good and happy. It's also connected to lower stress levels, which is great of anyone's well-being. Learning martial art can give you a confidence boost. It gives you assurance that you'll be okay and you'll be able to handle a possible life-threatening situation and save your life and even someone else. It's a heritage. Keep the heritage alive by studying it. With Arnis, different schools have different methods. Grandmaster often have their own specialities and their students build up and continue the practice while adding their own styles. Since everyone moves differently, Arnis is ever changing, yet follows the same core principle. Think of it as a story. passed down from generation to generation. And by learning it, you can help continue the practice by teaching it to others.
tumanggap to.
Isa, dalawa, tatlo. 5 letra hanggang dulo. Sisigaw ng malakas, pawis ay pumapagaspas. Heto na, kinakabahan na. Hinga ng malalim, ha. Tumayo ng tuwid dumanda, tumingin sa harap, kanan at kaliwa. Sa hawak mong patpat, lakas mo'y panatilihing sapat. Simulan na ang laban, kalabay yun ang pagmasdan. Simulan na ang paghampas sa kanyang katawan. Alalahanin mong ulo ng kalaban ay huwag tamaan. Baka ikay magsisi sa iyong ginampanan. Tandaang ito ay isang laro na nanalo sa paraang tama at makatao at marunong tumanggap ng isang pagkatalo. Sa buhay ng isang arnisador, tiyaga at pawis ang iniipon. Tinitiis ang pagod, sakit para sa nakatakdang panahon. Parang pag-ibig lang yan, kailangang manalo sa laban. Huwag kang pakante, walang papahala. Lumaban ka, bawal ang mahina. Sa larangan ng arnis, dapat ay magpamalas ng bilis. Ang payat na kahoy ay bigyan mo ng halaga, pagkat maaaring ito ang magligtas sa iyo sa masama. Huwag mong maliitin ang larong arnis. Darating ang araw, buhay mo'y di na kailangang ibuwis. Dahil sang kahoy, maaari ka nang dumepensa sa taong gumawa sa iyo ng masama, tiyak ay tumba. Ang buhay parang arnis. Kailangan lahat ng galaw malinis. Iwasang magkamali upang ang kalabay walang daan upang gumanti.
The inevitable defense, Arnis. It started with letter A and with letter S. A stick might be 1 or 2 pieces, with striking techniques and basic stances. A silence of time where base, space, form are weightless, and observation subject to martial art of awareness. That is mechanic of conscious being, within the structure inherent to new beginning. A perception accepted without, Arnis was asked, so make a shot. You strike me, I strike you. I dash my stick, so dash yours too. Driven by a frantic rush to score, nervous was no more. Handed down to generation for century. Arnis hones the skill, speed, and accuracy. It goes through evolution. Now the baton-like cane is the primary weapon. Officiated and honored in Arnis competition, Arnis is now popular in everywhere, urban or rural. It was developed by native people to the island. Use simple impact and edges like weapons such as kampilan, rattan, sword, dagger, and spear. Don't feel too much. Set aside your fear. Weaponry for combat and self-defense. Filipinos studied Arnis in times of Philippine independence. Arnis an effective fighting art, so please be smart. The internalization of Arnis began after decades of Chinese, Westerners, and Japan. Perso's book on modern Arnis was being vigorously promoting. Arnis once again became a mass construction, from being an individual coaching and professional in performing. Remember, you will train your whole life for a 4-second stick fight. Arnis.